have agreed to work together to share the best ways of cutting greenhouse emissions.
Change like this always comes with challenges, and some of those challenges are going to be technical, some are going to be financial or organizational.
Ford and General Motors are part of the initial group of participants, as well as a number of major auto suppliers. State Representative Timmy Beeson of Bay County is encouraging businesses that continue to pay taxes despite being closed during the pandemic to apply for grants which could help recover costs. Beeson says applications are being taken this month. The Michigan legislature has approved $409 million in pandemic relief programs. WSGW News Time, 9:10. I'm Mike Percher.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. Mostly cloudy for today. Highs will top out near 40 degrees. Winds west-northwesterly 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight it remains mostly cloudy. Lows drop to 25. Winds north around 5 miles per hour. Wednesday still mostly cloudy. Chance for snow developing. Rain can mix in at times by afternoon. Highs make it into the upper 30s to near 40. Winds turn to the west-southwest 5 to 10. Wednesday night, gradual clearing. Lows fall back to 16. And then Thursday, mostly sunny and highs reach 28. I'm Phil Jensko with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Right now, it's 27.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinion. From around your block to around the world, the Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
And a good morning to you. Welcome to another edition of the Art Lewis Show. Not in my home studio today. You might hear the racket in the background. We are at Krzysiak's House Family Restaurant here in Bay City for the Polish Polka Punchki Palooza party. That's a mouthful, but it's going on right now. And I mean, this place is packed, has been since 5 o'clock this morning. Kowalski Brothers Band is playing, and they are selling probably upwards of 1,000 dozen punchkis this morning here at Krzysiak's. More on that later on. And also later on, we will be talking with Senator Gary Peters for a few minutes this morning about Russia and the State of the Union. All of that is ahead at 11 o'clock on Focus. The Bay City Salvation Army, Major Rick, will be with us. That's what's ahead. But we're going to spend some time, starting out this hour anyway, talking about highway workers' safety, an important subject. And from the Michigan Infrastructure and Transportation Association, welcome to the program this morning, Lance Bianami. Lance, good morning to you, and thanks for being with us.
Good morning, Art. Thanks for having me.
You're more than welcome. This topic of worker safety on the highways, this is an important topic, isn't it?
It has, or it is, I should say. And we have seen over the last 4 or 5 years a significant increase in worker fatalities within work zones, which prompted the Department of Transportation and the heavy construction industry to form the Work Zone Safety Task Force to try to see what we can do to limit the number of fatalities and accidents within our work zones.
Now, how many fatalities are we talking about? I mean,
we had
one
14,
is too many.
Yeah, we had 14 fatalities in 2020. As you said, Art, one is too many, but we had 14, which is a significant increase over the past few years.
And how many accidents with injuries?
There were over 4,000 accidents within work zones. Yeah, it's incredible, Art, the amount of even misses that occur that are reported by the workers. There are people just driving too fast through work zones.
And they're well identified. There is a system that other states have been using, particularly I know this in Pennsylvania because I drive through it a lot. At a work zone, they have one of their trooper cars parked at the beginning of that work zone. It's amazing what that does to slow you down. And I wonder do a system like that.
Yeah, we have seen significant reduction in speeds when there is police presence at work zones. Unfortunately, the resources, as we know, are limited, and you can't put a police presence on every single work zone. And so something that they also have in Pennsylvania is camera enforcement. which is something that we're pushing here in Michigan, which would be monitored by the police and a third party. And it has shown in 19 other states significant reduction in speeds.
What's the chances of getting it done?
Again, it's in 19 different states. There is certainly a focus within the legislature right now to find out how we can protect workers. We've had one committee hearing on it. There are 2 new bills that have been introduced that we are supporting, and we're hopeful that both the House and Senate will consider them significantly. We're looking for anything right now that can help our workers out there, and we think this is one tool that can really help workers be safe.
Didn't the state police recently do an enhanced enforcement of work zone safety? I thought
over the past few years, we have certainly tried to increase police presence within work zones. The industry has gotten a lot better of communicating with local law enforcement when a construction a project is occurring and what the days are and where they might need help the most. And so there has been a lot more coordination over the years, but we certainly think that this tool is one way that we can even enhance that.
And when the infrastructure money rolls in, there's going to be a lot more of these work zones, aren't there?
Yeah, and that's the thing. This is a perfect opportunity. Unfortunately, we have seen an increase of accidents and in fatalities, and that's before a lot of this increased investment comes into the system. We are going to see a lot of construction throughout the state of Michigan over the next 4 summers, and we want to keep those workers safe.
I have to ask this question: where are you going to find those workers?
Quite honestly, the heavy construction industry hasn't had the same problems that other industries have had. We actually are increasing in numbers with our workforce. The industry has done a really good job setting up individual training and programs for high school students over the past few years. And quite honestly, we've seen in some of the other industries during the pandemic where they may have lost their job because businesses have been closed, or quite frankly, they don't make as much money at these jobs. The seasonal construction industry is a high-paying industry that can produce very good careers with very good retirements. And we're seeing, as we see people leave jobs, we're seeing people go to the heavy construction industry. So we're confident that we're going to be able to find the jobs.
All right, so let's say we have the workers. Do we have enough contractors?
We do. Michigan has a very competitive contracting industry. And we have a lot of contractors in our state that have operations in Florida, North Carolina, Indiana, several other states that can up their workforce and up their equipment sizes to bring back to Michigan.
So, as you look at Michigan roads, and the governor came into office saying she wanted to fix the roads, have you seen that effort? Are we seeing our roads fixed? And what do we do about local streets and roads?
Sure. Yeah, the governor, when she got into office, proposed a gas tax increase that was met not very well by the legislature. So the governor did what she could do, which was bond for projects. So she put a $3.5 billion bond out for 4 years, which has helped our highway system. And you're absolutely right, Art. That is helpful and is doing tremendous amount of good for our highway system. But we need to focus on local systems as well. There are proposals, and some of the new investment coming from the federal government will help out our local bridges, which is probably the worst of all the local facilities in infrastructure within the areas, our local bridges. And I think that money will go a significant way towards improving those conditions.
Well, that'd be nice because anybody that drives through any streets in any town knows the issues.
Yeah. In addition, there were a lot of pandemic relief money that locals received that they can use some of that money for transportation construction, more underground infrastructure. But I think up to 10% of the money they receive, they can use for roads and bridges as well. So we're hopeful that local communities will take advantage of that money as well.
Some of the other states, like Wisconsin, they use a different surfacing compound on their roads, which don't seem to be as susceptible to frost and heave. Have we changed what we use here in Michigan?
We are constantly analyzing different materials, different construction methods. And I think Michigan is pointed as one of the best and most efficient and ahead of the game in terms of the way we contract stuff out in Michigan and the way we utilize our supplies and our materials. Wisconsin fortunately doesn't have to have the thaw that we have. And our freeze thaw cycle is just wrecks our roads on a daily basis. Right now is a perfect example of pothole season. It's one of the worst pothole seasons I've seen since I've been with MITA, and that's 11 years now.
So, in terms of changing the materials that we use, we're using what works for us.
There's no question. There's no question. We have some of the strongest restrictions on what we can and cannot use within building our roads and bridges in Michigan. And we're under the same guidelines that they are in other surrounding states, that especially on our federal roads.
And weight limits are in effect or going into effect now. That does tend to help the roads, doesn't it?
Yeah, there's no question that during the freeze thaw cycle, we need to keep the heavy trucks off our roads, especially our local roads that aren't built to sustain those heavy trucks at certain times of the year.
The name of the organization, MITA, the Michigan Infrastructure and Transportation Association, you cover a lot more than roads, don't you?
We certainly do. We have underground water and sewer contractors that are building and maintaining our utilities, dams, tunnels, all aspects of infrastructure we represent.
What about transportation? Is that the roads, or is that?
Yeah, that's mainly the roads. We don't represent mass transit organizations. We do. Our members will build some of those facilities. But in terms of the administration and the members that are part of the mass transit systems, we do not represent them. There's another organization that does.
Well, Lance, it's always interesting to talk to you because we learn something every time. And I want to remind everybody that these folks that go out and fix your roads, the men and women out there doing the work, deserve to be taken care of when you go through those speed zones. They're there for a reason.
I appreciate that, Art. I fortunately work in an office and I don't have to worry about people driving 80 miles an hour by me, but I have friends and family that do, and we want them to go back home to their family every night safely.
Oh, you bet. Well, Lance, thanks for spending a little time with us this morning. We appreciate it.
Always a pleasure. Thanks, Art.
Have a great one. We'll talk to you again.
Too. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Lance Bianami, and he is with the Michigan Infrastructure and Transportation Authority. And talking about roads and fixing them, it's just, it has always bugged me. We spend an awful lot of money on the state roads and the federal highways, and that's fine because they carry a lot of traffic, no doubt about it. But we have to address this problem of local streets and roads somehow. A lot of communities have taken upon themselves. They have their own road millages. If that's the answer, then so be it. But if you vote against it and you don't have a road millage that passes in your community, don't complain about the roads. What can I say? We need to do something to fix the streets and roads, the local streets and roads in our communities. All right. We are at Krzysiak's Family Restaurant here in Bay City because it is Fat Tuesday, the beginning of Lent coming up, the end of Mardi Gras. And this is Punchki Day. They call it here the Polish Polka Punchki Palooza Party at Krzysiak's. Kowalski Brothers Band is here, and the line to buy punchkis is still steady. They'll go through at least 1,000 dozen punchkis today. That's a lot of punchkis. And they have 7 different varieties, all waiting for you here at Krzysiak's. 1605 Michigan in Bay City's South End. And the party goes on probably till about 12:30 is when it usually begins to wrap up. So come on out and enjoy yourself and join your many friends because this place has been packed all morning. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we are waiting to hear from Senator Gary Peters. That will be next here on the Art Lewis Show.
We are all anxiously awaiting the approach of spring, longer, warmer days, trees budding, perennial flowers blooming, and the return of our state bird, the robin. What we're not looking forward to is rain, flooding, thunderstorms, and of course, power outages. Oh, no. No one wants to be caught off guard with a sump pump problem during a heavy downpour. Reamer Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning can help you plan ahead to avoid a flooded basement. They sell and install primary electric pumps as well as water and battery-powered backup pumps. Reamer Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning can also bring you back to normal from a wet basement with maintenance or replacement of a flooded water heater, furnace, or boiler. Trust the experts with your plumbing and heating mechanical needs in your home. You have a family doctor. Do you have a family plumber? Reamer Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, 989-792-8738, or find them on the web at reamerplumbing.com.
Any way you spell it, Reamer means quality.
Annette Glenn pledged she'd fight to cut car insurance costs. She pushed legislation giving drivers more choice, reducing premiums. Coming soon, a $400 refund check per vehicle. Annette Glenn got the job done. Paid for by Annette Glenn for State Senate.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Investors continue to focus on the situation in Ukraine and the possible impact of sanctions on Russia. The Russian markets are closed again today. There is upbeat earnings news. Target's holiday quarter was stronger than forecast. Its profit rose more than 12% from a year ago. Target continues to benefit from demand for home delivery and curbside pickup. It was able to offset higher supply chain costs and spending on wages. Macy's is updating its business, committing to spend $5 billion between now and 2025 to create a more equitable and sustainable future. Macy's says that includes its pledge to raise its minimum wage to $15 an hour, which will happen by May 1st. And it is adding education benefits. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Coselda, invested in you.
Any supplier can drop a box outside your door. But if you want a partner who delivers great customer service too, rely on Cintas. Your dedicated service reps can deliver what you need to help your business run smoothly. From essential cleaning products to hygienically cleaned apparel, fire protection services to first aid and safety supplies. That service you can't get from a box.
Oh, I'm ready!
Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
This is important news. If you have unfiled tax returns, the IRS is shifting gears and ramping up investigations on non-filers this year. If you fail to file your tax returns for a year or more, or you owe back taxes, now's the time to call Optima Tax Relief before the IRS finds you. Optima is America's #1 most trusted tax resolution firm, specialized in helping individuals, families, and businesses get right with the IRS. They're experts in the Taxpayer Relief Initiative, a powerful new program that can make resolving tax issues easier. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, Optima's award-winning team has helped thousands of people protect their paychecks, bank accounts, homes, and businesses by putting their tax problems to rest, resolving over $1 billion in tax debts for their clients. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
The WSGW online poll, Girl Scout Cookies. The season is recognized nationally from January through April. Did you know that each Girl Scout Council contracts with one of 2 licensed bakers whose recipes and ingredients could slightly differ? That's why some cookies look the same but have 2 different names. This year, officially 12 cookies are listed by the Girl Scouts online. Our poll question, what is your favorite Girl Scout cookie? If you go into our poll, you'll see all the answers. The answers do include Adventurefuls, caramel chocolate chip, lemonades, lemon ups, peanut butter patties, peanut butter sandwiches, Samoas, shortbread, s'mores, thin mints, toastier, and toffee-tastic.
Well done.
Well, thank you. Head online to WSW.com, scroll down the homepage, find the online poll box, and you can vote for your favorite Girl Scout cookie flavor that way. So now you know what we're all hungry for right now.
Yes, right. Very.
I will buy a box or 2.
The Morning Team Show, weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
Hi, this is Mike Avery. You know you can hear my outdoor magazine show Sunday mornings, 9 till noon on WSGW. But now there's another option, Saturday morning, 6 till 9. Tune in for the latest outdoor news and information, hunting and fishing tips, wildlife and conservation issues, even some wild game cooking. That's Outdoor Magazine now on Saturday mornings too, 6 till 9, right here on WSGW 790 AM and 100.5 FM.
And we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show, coming to you from Krzysiak's House Family Restaurant with the Polish Polka Palooza. Well, the Polish Polka Punchki Palooza party. There we go. I got them all in that time. And we have some special guests to talk to for a few minutes this morning. First of all, we say good morning to Senator Gary Peters. Senator, good morning to you.
Well, great to be with you, Art. Thanks for having me on your program. And it sounds like you're having a lot of fun at that location.
Yeah, it's kind of this is the 24th year I think we've been here. It's amazing, and they go through. Let's just say a lot of punchkis. It's a lot of calories. Also with us.
You're not saying you go through a lot of punchkis, are you, Art?
I'm sorry. What was that? I
said you're not saying you go through a lot, are you?
No. Matter of fact, I had half of one, literally. Also with us this morning is Justin Palmerville. Justin has the privilege this year of being a virtual guest for the State of the Union from Senator Peters. Justin, good morning.
Good morning to you, Art. I appreciate you having us on this morning.
Oh, we're glad to have you. Senator, let's start with what do you expect from the State of the Union, particularly given the world situation right now with Russia and the Ukraine?
Well, clearly, there's a lot going on here, but I know the president's going to certainly talk about what we've been through as a country over these last couple of years with the pandemic, and how we're all want to move forward and talk about those steps going forward. Talk about what we've done in the past, what the president has done, and I think a lot of focus as well is going to be on some of the positive things that have occurred, like the bipartisan infrastructure package. That's why I wanted to have Justin join me for the State of the Union as the business manager and financial secretary for the UA Local 85 there in Saginaw. And, the men and women is local are out there building things, making things. And we now are going to have significant investments in Michigan to rebuild roads, to our bridges, to make sure we have access to broad, high-speed internet, as well as what I think is particularly exciting is major focus on cleanup of the Great Lakes with the Great Lakes Restoration Initiative. So I think the State of the Union will talk about what the president and what we've done together over the last year, and then looking forward into this next year as we try to lower costs. As now, because of the pandemic and supply chain problems, we're seeing prices rise. We've got to be working to make sure we're doing everything we can to lower costs for folks all across Michigan.
This is timely because just before you folks came on, I had somebody from MITA, the Michigan Infrastructure and Transportation Association, on, and I had asked if there's enough labor to actually spend all that infrastructure money. Justin, how are you doing at finding workers and keeping workers?
Well, we've actually been pretty successful and fortunate at attracting workers and retaining them. Senator Peters has been a great friend of infrastructure, a great friend of the trades and the working men and women of Northern Michigan, and with some of the the ties to these bills with Davis-Bacon and paying a fair wage, it's not as hard to attract qualified, skilled labor when you pay a fair wage and they can make a decent living at it. So we've been real fortunate at retaining our workers, and we get a good pool of applicants every year, and it's directly affected by Washington and a lot of these bills that Senator Peters has put forth. He's got a serious commitment to the veterans, and he visited our training center last year, and we draw a lot from returning active military members that come into the trades, and they're already trained for success. So we've been very fortunate working hand in hand with Senator Peters and the entire federal government on attracting members and retaining.
So once the infrastructure money hits the pipeline, you're ready to go?
We are. Yes, we are. We're training every day for it. The work is good right now across the nation. I think we're definitely in good times, but we're poised for the challenge, and the workers are updating certifications and training hard every day to be prepared for this coming. And Senator Peters has done a great job letting us know, as things form and move forward, and we're adjusting the best we can accordingly, and I think we'll be just fine at providing a skilled, qualified workforce.
Senator, what impact will this Russia-Ukraine situation have on these various bills that have been passed and the infrastructure package, for example? Will there be any impact other than the fact it's going to cost them more to do the work because of fuel costs and stuff like that? But will there be much impact?
Yeah, I'm not expecting that. I mean, obviously what's happening in Ukraine is serious. We are focused on that and are continuing to send military aid to the Ukrainians who are fighting so bravely. I think everybody who watched the images of what's happening in Ukraine are horrified, and to see the Ukrainian people all come together and grab weapons and get out there and fight for their freedom. That shows how important it is for us to fight for freedom. But I'm certainly committed as a member of the Ukrainian caucus here in the U.S. Senate to do everything we can to provide both the military assistance, but also humanitarian. We're seeing a huge humanitarian crisis building in Ukraine now as people are flowing across the border into Poland and other countries, and we have to be concerned about those individuals. So we'll be focused on that, but we're also going to continue to be focused here in the country, making sure we're building world-class infrastructure. Right now our infrastructure in the world ranks number 13. We're 13th in the world in terms of the quality of our infrastructure. That's unacceptable. I think it's unacceptable to all of your listeners. The United States is 13th anything. That's why we continue to make sure we're making these investments and supporting folks to get the skills they need, as Justin mentioned, with the UA training facility and others in the apprenticeship program. I think we're going to be equally workforce.
Justin, let me ask if a person's interested in developing the skills of your trades, do you have a training program, and what do they need to do to participate?
We do have a training program. We accept applications year round. They can fill out an application online, or they can stop into our office, 3535 Bay Road, and retrieve a physical application and fill out. They got to be 18 years of age, high school transcripts, and that's basically it. And then it's a 5-year apprenticeship program. We have a training school right here in Saginaw, and we also have a training center in Traverse City. It's 8,900 work hours on the job and 1,080 school hours in a 5-year apprenticeship, and they'll turn out as a state licensed plumber, and they will also turn out with multiple welding certs and all the skills they need to be successful. Our training program's been around for almost 100 years, and the local's been existent for 130, and every year we're trying to make changes and benefits to our training program and provide good training at no cost to the member right here in Saginaw area, and we cover Bay City as well. So you're definitely in the right place in the south end of Bay City for today.
No doubt about that. Well, Justin, listen, enjoy your virtual State of the Union visit. It's a great opportunity, and I think you'll come away quite pleased.
Yeah, absolutely, and I appreciate the time, and I'd like to thank Senator Peters for having me as his guest. It is a great honor, and it shows his continued support for labor in the state of Michigan.
And Senator, when do you expect these State of the Unions to go fully audienced again, where people can actually come into the gallery and watch?
Well, I would expect definitely next year we'll be there. Right now, we have all the members that will be able to attend the State of the Union, but because of the capacity issues, guests will be virtual. So next year, certainly we're hoping things keep getting better. I'm optimistic about us getting through this pandemic and being back to normal as soon as possible.
Well, Senator, great to hear from you as always. Thank you for joining us this morning. And Justin, same to you. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Art. Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you. God bless organized labor.
All right. Thanks for being with us. Bye-bye now. Senator Gary Peters and Justin is with the trades, and we thank him for joining us. We're going to take a break here at Krzysiak's House Family Restaurant, and then we'll be back with open phones.
This is Rachel from the Wsgw Marketplace, located at 203 South Washington, right on Riverfront, Saginaw. Come warm up inside with our small businesses ready to serve you. From global flavors like Falafel Hut, Saigon Sandwich, and some Louisiana flair with Creole Queens, to American favorites like Divine Taste of Chicago, Macon Bacon, and now open Big O Burger and Barbecue. Get delicious treats with Delicious Sweets Bake Shop, Craven Cookies, and Mini Donut Delight Factory. Need a gift? Shop at Purple Sage Bead Store, Flowers by Romans, and coming soon, we welcome Thrive Creations. Warm up inside the SVRC Marketplace, open Wednesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Need a rental space? Check out the Marketplace for all your private or business events. Have a small business you'd like to share with the community? Mark those calendars as we get ready for our Think Spring Makers Market on May 7th. We thank you for the continued support of our small businesses. Remember to shop local, eat local, support small business, and we will see you at the market.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
What's the most important part of a retirement plan?
Income is king because we all need income. And if you don't have an income plan, you don't have a retirement plan.
That's Kevin Ray, financial coach at Insight Folios. Kevin tells his listeners every week about the importance of income planning, minimizing taxes, and strategies to lead a worry-free retirement. Learn all about that and get your own complimentary financial